Hey everybody, welcome back to Cowboy Leather and Shoe Repair. Today we're gonna finish these chaps out or get them a little bit closer. What I did is, in between doing other stuff, shoe repair and whatnot, I finished off the one half of them. Let me show you what we did. Basket weaved the yoke, put in some blood knots to hold the silver conchos down, and those are to hold the leg straps in. Went ahead and double stitched all the way around. Instead of cutting the fringe into the chap itself, or excuse me, the chink itself, I added. I think it looks pretty good so far. But like I say, the only thing I haven't done, what we got to do is, when we get the other side done, we got to figure out where our adjustment holes are. Some people put a strap across here and just put some decorative stitching through it with a piece of rawhide or whatever. But let me set this aside. Let me tip you down. Before I do that, I've already gone ahead, and these are the buckle ends for the, and these, I made these out of stirrup hobbles. This was, once upon a time, it was a long piece. I just split them in half, not trimmed them, but I just edged them a little bit. So let me get you down here and we'll see. I'll show you what I've done so far. Don't mind a rocky road here. All right. This is my fringe. And what I did is I went ahead and went around here with my skive. Now this is 1 inch strip here between the edge and where my lace, where I cut my lace out. So this is 1 inch. Now I find that being that this is oil tanned and got a lot of oil and other stuff in it, that glue doesn't stick to it very well. So what I did, I just went ahead and roughed this up all the way around here. And I did the same thing to the edge of my shaft. So what we're going to do is, now, before we get too far, I want to show you something. Being that this stuff scratches, scuffs, and scrapes real easy, either put it on a piece of carpet, or I got this piece of, it's a small nap of like sheepskin with a little sponge rubber on the back side of it. I put that under there just to give it a little extra cushion. Now I'm going to pull it off just a little bit here, so we can come ahead and put some glue on it. Now again, I would skive it if you're using anything that's got a wax. I'd rough up the edges. Don't get too carried away. Just give yourself enough glue on there, and I'm not spreading it out very far. I'm kind of leaving spots where it's kind of thick. Yeah, it'll take a little bit more time to set up, but just give me in case I miss something. Now in this part, I would say don't run up to your line. If you do, use a smaller brush when you put your glue on, because you don't want any glue sneaking out from under and being where somebody's going to see it. Now I'm using barge cement, being that I do shoe repair. It works just as good for my shoe repairing as it does on just straight up leathercraft. So while that's tacking up a little bit, now where is it? It's here somewheres. I saw it. I know it's here. I was going to show you. There it is. It was hiding. This is what I use for cutting the fringe. Each one of these is 1/4 of an inch, and I got this from the people there at Maker's Leather Supply. It's a very handy jig to use. You can use a rotary knife. It fits in these real well. Makes life easy. If you don't have a rotary knife, use a knife like that. Fits in there real nice, slid through. I think it's pretty handy. It beats trying to cut these all out with a pair of scissors or freehand them. If you're going to do this kind of work or make bags or anything that you're going to use for putting fringe on, I would suggest maybe getting yourself one of those. Now, let me get this, kind of work this a little bit out of the way so we can get everything lined up in frame here. Now what I've done is I went around and I scribed a line with my wing divider 1 inch in. So I can come around here, kind of lay this down so you know generally where you're gonna start, and just walk your fringe in. Trying to stay as close to that line as you can. Now when you get down here, just kind of walk around. It's going to leave a pucker, but I'll show you in a second what we're going to do with the puckers. Okay, just kind of go around here and finger press it. Now what I do with these puckers, I just kind of come in here, snip, snip, and lay that rascal down. Some of them you don't have to do, some of them you do. But I just go ahead just so it's gonna make life easier when you stitch it. Now you can hand stitch this, or you can use a machine. I use the machine. Just like that. Some of these smaller ones in here I'm not going to be too concerned with. Now while we're letting this do its thing and harden up a little bit, we're going to swing it around. And this piece here that's extra tail, just leave that on there until you get done stitching. Now what we got to do is put these on there. Now someplace, there it is. I cut this a little bit longer than what I need, so I can lay it on there. But before we get carried away, I'm going to go over here to the riveter, and I'm going to put these on, and I'll be right back. So just hold tight. All right, we're back again. So this piece we're going to put on here. Like I said, I left it a little long, so we'll cut it off here when we get it done. Now again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slobber a little glue on here, hit the tops of there. We're just going to let that sit a little bit. But like I said, you don't have to sew this on a machine. You can use by hand. But however you do it, make sure you got everything glued down where it belongs. Now something I do want to show is these straps. You want to make sure when you rivet them, you pin them down a little bit, or you can stitch them if you want, or use double cap rivets. These are stainless steel, so they'll be there for a long time. One thing I like about this birch cement, it dries pretty quick. Kind of line it up. Get yourself some clips, binder clips. They're handy. Now before I get carried away, we're going to put a stitch groove. to take my big scissors. Just cut that off. All right, I think we're ready to go over here and run it on the sewing machine. So let me get set up here by the sewing machine with the camera, and we'll go ahead and stitch this on. I'll put you on hold. Be right back. Don't go away. All right, we're back. What I'm going to do, then I'm going to start from out here and stitch around. Make sure you keep your fringe out of the way. That's good for that. Now let's come up here and hit the fringe. what I'm going to do, even though I'm going to come up and catch another pass, I'm going to go ahead and double, kind of put a little bit more stitching on the bottom here than you normally really need to. Now, I'm going to come back around the other way. Something I forgot to mention, when I had the camera shut off, I put a stitch groove around the edge of the, I put one at 1/8 inch and one at 5/8, I believe it is. Okay, let's come back to the other side and get this done. Make sure you haven't got nothing tangled up under there. Meaning the front of the chinks. Drop down. Come back about 3. Scoot it out further. Now I gotta burn the tails off. You know, once you make a pair of these and get comfortable making them, and you can knock out a pair of these in no time. Now, this right here, that's where the that little medallion or whatever you want to call it, that's where that goes. But let me put you on hold and we'll go back over here and set up again. All right, we're back. I went ahead, stitched this on, did my stitching here. So you get rivet. Those are stainless steel. They're covered. This has been stitched on. Now, we're going to do a blood knot. For those of you that don't know how to do a blood knot, use your bag punch your holes, cut whatever size lacing or whatever you want to call it that you want to use for your concho or whatever. Run them through, and I put a slit in the top. Yep, can't see it too well. There we go. We'll come back here. Take your bottom one, kind of open up a little bit, slip it through, pull it up tight. Now you'll have, this one will be rough side and your smooth side. So now the one you just run up through here, you take and come down here. Don't make a big slit, just enough so you figure you can get your, you take this bottom one, tuck it through here, pull that up, twist it, pull it up tight, and there you go. There's one. Just get that one out of the way. Pull them up tight, because remember, these are holding the straps on the back side of here, so you want them to be tight as you possibly can get. I mean, you'll never get them super tight, but you want to start out with them tight. Okay, again, you take the bottom one, kind of open this up a little bit. What I do is I take something like a pair of pliers, stick them through there, open it up a little bit, slip it through, grab a hold of the tail, pull it, twist this one around, slice it, take your pliers, open that up a little bit, pull it through, twist it so they match up, pull it tight, and you got one more. These look pretty good on a lot of different projects. They come silver, they come brass. I've got some brass ones, but I didn't want to go too whole hog with dark colors on here. Sometimes too much dark is not good. Turn it, pull it up tight. Now don't get hammered crazy, but just kind of tap down on them. Don't bend the daylights out of your conchos. And I'm throwing stuff on the floor. So, there you go. pretty much, when you get to this point, you're pretty much finished. Except for, you know, I still gotta put the strap across the back, make it adjustable, and trim my belt, trim that off. Now, what I was going to show you is, I mean, you can see what I got here. Saddle and tack or harness conditioner. Softens, preserves, and protects leather. You give it a good shake. I got a piece of that cloth that I showed you that I was using for underneath. You just kind of give it a squirt. Rub it on here. And when this dries, those little skid marks or scuff marks you see, they'll pretty much be gone. Now rub it around here, and it don't hurt. It may be oiled, but it don't hurt. Put a little bit, give it a little nutrition. That's like, you know, I get people come in and they wonder why their tack is cracking and everything else, and first thing I tell them is you're not putting enough moisture back into it. You know, leather, believe it or not, I didn't realize this, but old man told me, he said, just because the cow isn't living and breathing anymore doesn't mean his hide's not. He said, that's why they got to keep oils and stuff like that on them. And all this is going to do is kind of shine it up a little bit too. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt nothing. Is it an overkill? Maybe. But I just feel like doing it. Do it now before I get everything all finished up. You can do the same thing with saddle soap. I mean, when the customer gets this, they'll scratch them up. I guarantee they won't have them on 5 minutes, and they'll look like they've been around for years. I wouldn't worry about the fringe. And what you do is you let this sit a little bit. I got this piece of sheepskin. Yes, bleeding all over the place. And I just kind of give it a buff. Don't rub, just kind of like you're polishing your shoes or all right, that's it. I think I'm not going to bore you with cutting this strap down and putting holes in it, making a belt, or making the piece that goes across the back to hold the backside together. I think everybody's got the gist of what you do and how you do it. If you missed something and you want to know, check out my video part 1, and should give you or help you. And if you still don't understand or have a problem, by all means, feel free to give me a holler. We'll try and answer any questions. And try and help anybody out. I hope you enjoyed the videos, part 1 and part 2. I enjoyed doing them. Like I said, I made, that makes the 5th pair that I've done. I don't make them very often because cost-wise, you got to pretty much have a full hide, and it's got to be pretty good. No blemishes in it. Now, you can take that same one if you want to turn around and make a rough out set of chinks. You can do that. Or if you get a side that's a little iffy on the front side, that you want out, and the back side's good, use the back side, make a rough out, and then come back and use some better leather for the trim and everything else. But with that said, I'm going to end the video. We're up to 37 minutes. That might be a record for me. But anyways, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Stay safe. And being we're coming up into the Christmas holiday, I hope you other leather crafters are doing well and getting orders for products that you make. This should be a good year for handmade leather items because all real Christmas presents and stuff are sitting out in the ocean someplace. So maybe as leather crafters, we may have a good year. So again, with that said, I'm going to back out of here and get myself a cold drink, maybe get a bite to eat, and get to doing some other stuff. I got some belts and some wallets and card holders to do. So I just wanted to get this second video out. Didn't want people thinking that I forgot. I didn't. I just, get busy, and I do up the stuff that's making me money before I make, these will make me money, but what I got coming in over the counter, fix it, give it back to the customer. That's where you're going to make your money. All right. Again, everybody have a good weekend. If you enjoy these videos, subscribe, hit the bell, leave comments, whatever. I always like hearing from people. Even if it's, bad, you got a better idea and I didn't do it, let me know. I'm open for suggestions. All right, Cowboy's out of here. Till we ride again. Bye now.